Welcome to George Mason University Libraries. This tutorial, along with the one that follows, is designed to give you an overview of some of the wonderful resources that you have available to you here at George Mason University, along with how to evaluate those resources and find the best resources for what you're doing. I'm hoping that this is information that you will be able to use in all of your classes and also to help you to learn how to properly evaluate information. So we're going to get started. I'd like to start by introducing you to what I hope will be a valuable resource for you as you do your research, and that is me. I'm your librarian. My name is Joanne Henson. My contact information is here. I hope that we will get to know each other if we don't already, and that you will let me help you with your research. I'd like to start with just giving you an overview of the library homepage, some of the features of the library, and then we'll move into how to look for the proper resources for the work that you're doing. And I'll show you more than one way to get to the databases so that it shouldn't be too confusing for you. So library.gmu.edu is where you're going to start with your research. And from this page, you can go into the search box here on the black bar, or you can go into the quick search. I normally recommend that if you're looking for articles that you go into the search box here, and this is going to show you the different types of resources that you have to do your research. So we have articles and databases. Catalogs covers most of the items in our physical and electronic library, and then subject guides. We'll look at all of these things. For starters though, I'd like to show you articles and databases. And we have over 800, probably over 850 databases in our library collection. This is going to show you how to find databases if you're not familiar with our wonderful collection. Some ways to look into the different categories that we have for our databases. So obviously we want to look at business and finance and economics, of course, but let me also point out to you that we have engineering and also computer sciences and IT, quite a few different categories and different disciplines that are probably relevant to your research in your classes. So be sure and go in and take a look at some of these. They're all very valuable resources. I'll just open business so that you can get an idea of what this looks like. So business and finance, and we have some core resources on the top that you can go and take a look for finding articles, and then other very specifics. As you can see, the databases all have descriptions which will help you figure out which ones are going to be the most valuable for your research. So let's go back to our library homepage now, and again back to the search function. Catalogs, I'll just show you what this looks like so that you can get an idea of the different resources that we have. We have, in addition to our own library, Consortium, which is the research libraries in Washington, D.C. You can take a look at those collections, and we do have borrowing privileges in all of those libraries. And Library of Congress, you might want to take a look at that as well. Mason Library, when you go into this, it'll show you that you can do different types of searches for the types of materials that you're looking for. So I'm just going to click back now and take you back to the library homepage. Before we go further with this, I'd like to point out some things that are available to you as students at Mason. Use the libraries. Interlibrary loan is a way that you can request materials that we don't have in our library. We're happy to get those for you at no additional cost to you. Library accounts, if you want to see if you have things checked out, you can always look at your own on the records and see what you have. And then we have study rooms for our students in all of our libraries that you reserve online. So be sure and take advantage of some of these really nice resources while you're students here, and take advantage of ways that we can hopefully help you to do better with your schoolwork. Under Learn, you'll see things like Ask a Librarian, the various workshops that we have, a lot of online tutorials, research services, which include meeting with librarians or attending workshops, and instructional services primarily for faculty to have us into your classes. So back to search, we looked at articles and databases, and again, I hope you'll look at some of those great resources and get familiar with them. We'll get back to that in a few minutes, but for now I'm going to just show you the subject guides. And the subject guides are similar to the database lists in that they're organized by subject. However, these are a little different in that the librarians here at Mason have created these, so try to give you materials that might be of value to you in different subject areas and some topics as well. So engineering you can see there, and business and econ and management, a lot of different guides that you can choose from and hopefully get some very specific help with your research. I'm going to go ahead and show you my main info guide now, which is business. So you can just click on it, and this is organized in a way to give you a lot of information, hopefully kind of give you a better concept of what's available to you. And then I've also taken databases and arranged them in these different categories. We'll look a little more at this later, but for now I just want you to get an overview of what's here. If you scroll down, you can use this function to schedule an appointment with me, or you can email me for an appointment if you don't see something that works for you. And then my other guides are listed here as well. So again, my email is here, my main info guide is here. And back up to the top, different ways to help you find specific types of things. I'm going to take a moment now because I'd like to show you Write, Cite, and Evaluate. This is a tab that helps you to figure out how to put together a decent citation, and you can look at some different resources that I have for that. And then underneath, important information for you to really keep in mind is how to evaluate the resources that you're using. So it's very important that you understand that you want to use quality materials in your research. We have access to these fantastic resources. A librarian out in California put together this CRAP test, CRAP being an acronym, and it stands for Currency, Relevance, Authority, Accuracy, and Purpose. These are all very, very important elements in your research, things that you should consider rather, every time you look at articles, and make sure that you are really finding articles that fulfill all these requirements for quality material. So keep this in mind, and please do go back to it when you're in doubt and refer to it. It's just one of many types of tools that can help you to evaluate your research materials. And I'll just mention in passing that if you're using library databases, you don't have to be quite so attentive to this because we've tried to do that work for you. But ultimately, of course, as the author of your research papers, you should really want to be responsible for whatever it is that you're working on and using in your research. So we're going to look a little more at all of this in the second video. I would like to just leave you with a little bit of what we've already talked about, how to find databases in our library catalog. Of course, we're going to get a lot more in depth in the second video that you'll also be seeing soon. So thank you very much.